There's a lot of ways that you can win on YouTube, and it still blows my mind that there's not that many e-commerce sellers out there that do it.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message. Welcome to Marketing Interruption, a daily podcast powered by Blue Tusker that interrupts your day with marketing news, tips and strategies from an entrepreneur who lives and breathes marketing. Now, let the interruption begin with your host, Andrew Maff.
Hello and welcome to episode number 71 of the Marketing Interruption podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Maffetone. Today I'm going to talk to you about YouTube content ideas for e-commerce sellers. Now, oddly enough, I find that YouTube is an extremely underutilized channel for e-commerce sellers, and I feel like the likes of like the Gary V's in the world and Tom Reed and all those guys who are basically always pitching about doing content everywhere. It still blows my mind that there's not that many people on YouTube, or at least not a lot of e-commerce sellers. Mainly because I think it's the second biggest search engine next to Google, which is also owned by Google. Or is it the third? Is it Facebook? I can't remember. It's in the top three. So it's one of the biggest search engines, and there's not that many e-commerce sellers on there, and I never really understood why. And I started to realize it over the past couple of years when I would talk to e-commerce sellers about starting to do something on their YouTube channels, and they were like, I have no idea what to post about. And if you sit back and you just kind of think about it real quick, totally makes sense, because it's kind of like, besides some kind of like commercial looking thing, what are you going to do? So sat down and went through a bunch of different ideas and kind of narrowed it down to like our top four. So obviously one of them would be product videos. I know we kind of just said like, obviously that one's the most obvious, but if you can do like a 1 to 2 minute like showcase of the product, or even, a lot of people get those like 360 video photos done and stuff like that. You can utilize that kind of thing and just do call outs. And it's interesting just to have that content out there and for it to exist. To me, those are fantastic videos to have for people who are already visiting your channel. The other one that I think is a great, fantastic video to have for people that are already visiting your channel would be more like behind the scenes stuff. So if your product is made in America, or it's organic, or it's non-GMO, or whatever fancy crap is going on now, it would be great to have video of how it's made, where it's grown, how it's manufactured, how it's built. Go to your manufacturer and get video of it. Do a walkthrough of your office. Do a feature a certain department of people and show off your social team or your operations team or something like that. Just kind of give them behind the scenes. It really allows, it really caters to that whole, people don't like to buy from businesses, they like to buy from people. So if you can really personalize the side of your business, it's really kind of showcasing like we're humans too. It's not just some ad that we showed you and then you purchased. We're actually people, and and give it more of like a lifestyle kind of feel. That stuff works really well. Now, I mentioned those two because those two are great for if you're already getting traffic to your YouTube channel, because those aren't typically things that are searched. So now the issue is, how do we get traffic to your YouTube channel by stuff that people search? So one of those, and the easiest one, is how-to videos. It doesn't have to be a how to use your product. It can be a how to where you leverage your product. So if you're doing, let's say you sell camping gear and you sell tents, maybe there's a how to set up a campfire, and obviously your tent is there as well. Or maybe there's how to do fishing and your tent is in the background or something. And it's almost like product placement, like you would almost do in a movie or something like that, but you're doing it yourself. These how-to videos get so much traffic, it's ridiculous. How-to videos get the snippet on Google search engines. They get most of the searches, because a lot of people who don't know how to do something start with how to do X and Y. So starting something like that is fantastic, and it doesn't have to be completely relevant to your product, because remember, you can retarget viewers. That's a whole Google Ads, YouTube Ads thing that we talked about in another podcast. But if you can get people to view your product, and now you're kind of building a community of viewers that are relevant to your product line, you can retarget them for a much, much less cost than you've done before and do them through Google Ads. Another way to get traffic to your YouTube channel is to do things like influencer interviews or some kind of influencer feature. So, if you have, let's say you sell pet supplies, and wife's a big fan of like Doug the Pug and Tucker, that golden retriever and stuff. So doing an interview with, maybe with the owner, but it'd probably be funnier to do with the dog. But to do an interview where you're actually showcasing a well-known influencer on your page. Because if someone goes and searches Doug the Pug, and you can actually show up in one of those listings, you'll actually start to get a lot more traffic than you have before. So you're kind of looking at two different videos there. You're looking at some that can drive traffic to your YouTube channel. You're looking for some where people can stay on your channel longer. And both of those combined, if you can really leverage them well, you can retarget all of those viewers and really start to show ads to them elsewhere and even kind of base it off of videos that they may have watched. Of course, it's great to have the subscribers. It's great to set up different links and stuff like that on kind of YouTube SEO guidelines, which I think we did on another podcast. But there's a lot of ways that you can win on YouTube, and it still blows my mind that there's not that many e-commerce sellers out there that do it. I can understand it because it can be a bit of a headache, but take a quick video, 5-10 minutes, send it off to a VA to edit it to make it look decent, who might take 3 or 4 hours to do it for $10 an hour, and you just made a video for $40. It's definitely underutilized, and I think that every e-commerce seller should do it. Questions, comments, concerns, all that fun stuff. If you need help with ideas or whatever, shoot me a message wherever it is you're listening to this, or Marketing Interruption at bluetusker.com, or just add me directly at Andrew Maff, wherever you feel like doing it. That's all I have for today. So rate, review, subscribe, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us for today's Marketing Interruption. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. And don't forget to email marketinginterruption@bluetusker.com with any marketing questions you'd like to have answered on the show. And head over to marketinginterruption.bluetusker.com to catch up on past episodes. Until next time, we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.